I do believe we're live. Excellent. Let me just check. Perfect. Alright. So now that we've got that, let me move chat into a better position. Now we go. Not that I expect anyone to be particularly here watching live, but just in case. So yeah, I've been on and off programming for a while. I keep trying to get into it, and I just get bored and give up. But for a change, I actually seem to be on a pretty good roll with what I've got going at the moment. So I thought it was worth at least doing a video on it. I thought worth streaming to start with, just in case anyone does actually turn up and ask any questions and things. But yeah, so I've already made a good start on this, and I've been keeping like a sort of a devlog and stuff, and I may, if I get enough variety on like videos and things that I've been recording, I will compile them together so I can do a nice little like progress in one video from like the start to the finish. So I think realistically the easiest way to do this, rather than obviously going straight into code, is to actually fire up the game. I've already made some very basic 3D model using Magic of Voxel, and a projectile, some interesting particle effects, and I've already got some rudimentary AI, and I think that's about it at the moment. My plan today is to work on objectives, making them sort of function like they do in other games, where you have the AI that will then try and fight the player over objectives, and then they get claimed as one team sort of remains in the area, basically. So yeah, and we're doing this all in the Unreal Engine 5 preview, the early access preview for it. Because I thought I might as well get a heads up and see if it works better. So far, I've had no issues at all. The UI is very different, so it did take me a while to find all of the various components and tools and settings and stuff, but inherently it's pretty much the same as UE4, just a bit smoother and things. So I'm just gonna full screen this. Hey, excellent. So this is my little bot, it's a little drone that floats, and it's got a light, and it's just something I quickly knocked up in, like I said, in Magic of Voxel. It's quite cute. I might, I can always change it. I can improve it, make it more detailed. How I can, if I want, make the whole game into a very high detailed drone robot-y kind of thing. But I don't think that's worth the effort. I'd much rather get the game up and running and stuff properly. So currently this is actually a bot that when I start the game it will try and kill me. So let's just go straight into it. So when I hit start, so let me there we go. Right, so we've got a few key components to this at the moment. The first of which is so I've separated the sort of the movement and where you're aiming, so you can fly backwards and shoot. Oh, you leave me be. Which is cool. Something I wanted. I like the idea of like retreating whilst sort of suppressing your opponent. Obviously the bot's like stuck here, which is kind of useful for me showing this off. And I created, there's a few more particle effects. I kind of broke the engine one that comes out of the back of the drone, but I'll fix that another time. But so I thought this would be a really fun way of representing shields and health. So we have the shield particles, which are these blue ones, And then we have the health particles, which are currently the green ones. Now if I do this and get shot a bit, there we go. So that means my shields are below half. And if we wait a while, there we go. So the shields regenerate and then the particle effect changes to match. And if I let my shields go down too low, it breaks entirely. And then if I let my health drop a bit, it goes from green to orange. And if I wait again, my shields come back. And then we get to red health-ish. There's a bit of an issue with the health particle effects changing between one and another, but we've just died. I haven't put in respawn mechanics or anything yet, but that's kind of what I want the how I want the sort of UI side of it to be. It's more particle effects than sort of stuff around your screen. I will put in stuff options like that, but I really like the idea of playing the game in a way where you can do everything visually from like your sort of the center of the camera's perspective, because that will be quite fun. Make it a bit more interesting. Now obviously the particle effects I have, they're just very basic. I just kind of threw them together in like 20 minutes just as a proof of concept. But I just love the fact that I think within an hour of learning how to use the Niagara particle effect system, which is like the top of the line one that you get by default in the Unreal Engine, I was able to write the code to manage it. So I think I'll dip into that now because that's the more interesting side of all of this. So it's really straightforward, conceptually anyway. So let's go down here. So I put in I noticed if I change these values too frequently, or like activate and deactivate the system, the particle systems, it would have trouble. It doesn't like having these properties constantly set because it like resets the particle system almost. It lagged a lot and actually crashed a few times. So I put in these Boolean flags to stop me from repeatedly changing the values back to the same thing, even though most of the time the Unreal Engine can handle stuff like that. So the key thing here for the shields is it's literally if it's less than, so we've got, let me start in here. So we've got a struct that I made, which is up here, which is its health, shields, and energy. This will also make it easier to pass that information around to other classes without having to get like a reference back to the character all the time. It might be a bit cheaper. I mean, end of the day, it's pointers and it doesn't really matter, but for now it's fine. And it keeps it nice and concise and sort of out of the header in here and stuff. Makes it easier to work with. But so we've got two instances of it. We've got the current and the maximum, and this allows us to sort of hold two separate values for shields, health, and energy. So currently, I've got a very basic system for sort of how the shields and energy and stuff work. So it's pretty much there's a energy and shield regen stats. Well, there isn't a shield regen stat. I haven't put that one in yet. Should there be? There probably should be because they might be different. let me just, God, why is everything all over the place? I really need to organize this a bit better. Sorry, let me just throw this stuff up here. So there's energy regen, and there probably ought to be shield regen. I'll make them the same to start with because it's a reasonable value at the moment. So this should actually be shield regen. And if we set this at the top here. Excellent. So every tick, it will do the calculate shields method. You can see down here. And this should actually be in another method called calculate energy, which I was going to steal from up here, but I guess it's not there. Hang on. Just for consistency, really. So that's the particle. Here we go. So if I do this, and then calculate energy, close. Kind of typing around my microphone at the moment, so a little awkward. And then we put this in here, and then we do and then I have visual assist, so I can do fancy things like this and make it auto generate methods and things, which is very useful. I will also go and make sure all the public and private stuff's correct at some point, but for now it's kind of irrelevant. So yeah, so we're basically delta seconds is how long it was since the last tick, if I remember correctly. So we've got energy regen sort of is 10, and this might be like 0.2 or something. I mean, I could actually find out just out of curiosity what this comes out as. But it basically means that we can kind of standardize the rates that things happen without having to type in like very small numbers and stuff. Because the tick rate can change as well, which can make things a little confusing when you're working at the numbers and stuff. So, but in any case, it basically checks if we have less energy than our maximum, and then it just adds the value it finds. And then I've got this method called clamp value, which just makes sure that the value never goes higher than the maximum or lower than 0. Simple as that, basically. So if I hit play, it should immediately hit this. So yeah, delta seconds is 0.009 or 1, basically. And this is going to happen a lot, very, very, very frequently. And actually more efficient to do this. Oh, stop it. There we go. Because we don't need the value if we don't need to do the calculation. That looked weird to me for a second. There we go. And shields is very much the same premise. So it checks whether its shields are less than its maximum, but we also have a flag of can regen shields. So this is to stop like your shields from regenerating if they've been recently damaged. And if we go into the receive hit method, whenever we get hit, we set can regen shields to false, and then we set a 3-second delay before the shields can regenerate. And this should probably also be a property in here, so it's a lot more obvious. So let me shield delay. Why have I got energy regen delay? Is that something I'm using? It's probably not. Yeah, okay, yeah, because you don't want your energy constantly regenerating as well. Okay, let's set both of these then to 3 seconds. So we want shield regen delay and... I always do that. There we go. Set them to the same for now. I'll implement the energy regen delay as well in later. I don't think it's very important at the moment. So now I can use this value in the method here. Just a bit more cleaner, I suppose. And I might make this... actually, I will do that now. Let's make a macro for that, because it's way too long and just unnecessary. I'd make an actual method for it, but I just don't think it's necessary. We need handle, methods, and value or time. So we want delay, and then it's going to be a copy of this, but it's going to be this instead. So macros are literally the equivalent of doing like a copy and paste. Is that gonna work? It looks like it hasn't figured it out yet. That should be fine. So basically what it will do is if I now go down to this, I can do that, get rid of that, and now it's just that. Let me put a M in front of it because there we go. Okay, so there was already a method called set timer, which I might actually look into because they beat me to it. How interesting. So there's already one that does it. I'm not sure whether this, yeah, this is like a built-in Windows standard method by the looks of it, so probably not a good idea to be using that. So okay, so it looks a bit cleaner now. It's in fact, I could even go so far as to possibly do that. I'm not sure whether that's acceptable to people, but all it does is it will find and replace anything with mset timer with an equivalent of this with the given properties in here. And yeah, so it should compile, and it just means that it will just look like that. So whenever I need to set a timer in here again, I just copy and paste that and change the properties. Let's see if this func works real quick, or at least compiles. If it compiles, it will work, because I haven't really changed its behavior. But I love doing stuff like that because it makes the code really, really clean, very readable. Seems to be fine though. Yeah, excellent. I don't know of other people's opinions who do C++ a lot, but I just find it so useful to do things like that, especially in the controller. I use for like getting the actor, the location and rotation. It just removes all of that. It's like 20 characters, like 15 characters less than you needed to. I could even do it for like constructor helpers and stuff. It's just anything you do a lot, it just makes it a lot easier to visualize the code. Anyway, I'll shut up now. So yeah, so we've got shield regen. Excellent. So all this is doing is checking whether we have less shields than our max. We have the ability to regen the shields, getting the value, checking whether we've got enough energy to replenish the shields, and then yeah, adding the value to the shields, minusing the value from the energy, and then we clamp it just to make sure, and then we calculate the particle effects. So the particle effects are really straightforward. We're basically checking if they're below 50% and they're not already like changed to look like they do. And then, so we've got, this is like the crux of the particle system and stuff. So I'll go into this a bit. So you want to have a U-Niagara component with a Niagara system. And these two are linked to the systems in the Umber engine that I've built. So if I go up to the top here, up here, so we're getting a handle to the aura system, which is those little dots that fly around, the ship. And then we have the trail particle system, which I'm using for the engine. And the advantage of this is that I can, wherever I do it, and I believe it's on Begin Play, if I just find that. So I can use the same system for different particle effects and make them look and behave differently from each other. So the health and the shields components are using the same particle system, and then I just change their colors differently and their sizes differently. And so when you're in, let me bring up the Umber engine. All you have to do in the Niagara system is set up some user system parameters, I believe they're called. Let me have a look. User exposed parameters. So this is the that part, the aura particle system. As you can see, it's the same one that the health and shields use. And then you have these user parameters, and all you do is you hit the plus sign here, and you choose the type of parameter it is. So as an example, I believe it's in the particle spawn, we have the sphere radius, which defines how big the aura system is. And so all I would do is I'd come in here, create a float, a float property, call it radius, which I've got here, set a default value for it in here. So this is where you set all of the defaults. Currently it's 150. And then when you want to reference it, it's the same premise. So you go, get me this particle system component, and then you set a float parameter, and you just reference the name and set the value. And then you can do the same for colors, then booleans, and you just any given property can be assigned to a definable property in here, basically. So you have absolute complete freedom when it comes to making all of these changes and making elaborate particle effects and stuff. my intention is to change this to be more like a physical barrier than like dotted particle effects that spin around and stuff that are there, and it should even put emphasis on the location like the shields hit, so it does like a flat light, like a flash effect every time you get shot from a certain angle based on where it gets hit. That'll be a lot of fun and should be relatively straightforward. I believe the approach of something like that would be creating another particle effect that gets triggered from code. So it's like it could be on by default but not generate any particles, and then you use the code to trigger the generation of them, and then you set their physical position and direction to orientate towards the where the projectile came in. So it should be quite straightforward. It's just a bit of maths and another particle effect system. So yeah, and that's how all of that works really. It's I just add more properties, make the particle effects more elaborate, and job done basically. So that's the main sort of, that's like the health system is the same premise again. It's your green health if you're above 70%, your orange if you're below 70, and then your red if you're below 45. Oh, I see what I've done wrong here. Okay. So I've got this health status thing, which just to stop me from constantly changing the color. But what this is doing, because I'm not sure if anyone else noticed, but the health color was changing, flicking between red and then orange. But what it's doing is it's going, if it's less than this and not equal, already set to red, and then it will drop back down into this, which will be true because the health is less than 70 and it's not equal to orange already. So I need to put this in on here, and that should do the trick. Very yeah, that should do it. Later on I'll add in the ability to heal, but I want health to be like more of a permanent loss. So it forces people to have to like retreat after a certain point in time and sort of go back to base and heal up. Somewhat similar to, I guess, MOBAs, the most part. We'll just see if it's made that change successfully. Pew pew. Come on, take me. Okay, I don't want to die. Excellent. Yeah, see, there you go. Yeah, because it would come into here. Alright, yeah, only updates when we get hit. So our current health is 15, it's less than that, which would be, I don't know, half 75, but 65 or something. The health status is equal to red, so it will go on to the next one. But now it's got this catch in it, so it remains at red. And we're dead. I'll make it so that we don't actually do this later and we respawn and things. Because all you do then is you set the collision off, or you like detach the controller from the character, and then you just find the spawn location and like spawn the character into the world. Then I can start working on like a spectator camera or something. So yeah, that's what I've got so far for this. And then the only other thing that I started doing was a basic state-driven AI for the enemies. It won't predominantly have AI in it, but there will be like turrets and stuff. But the aim is to make it more like a multiplayer game at some point, so I'll have to figure that one out as well, which will be good fun. Not really done much multiplayer and never had much success with getting it working, but that was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago when the Unreal Engine didn't really have much documentation and was reasonably untested. I know there was a few people who got some good multiplayer stuff working, but I tried to get a game similar to this doing it, and apparently I can look back through my messages and stuff and try and find out what it was, but there's something about how the characters are set up, or that certain type of game mode that doesn't support multiplayer for some reason. So I'll have to figure that one out again. But yeah, so all I've really done here, so if I'll need to make some changes in here at some point. Don't really need to see that. Okay, excellent. Right, so the AI is very straightforward, and it uses a state-driven approach to how it decides what to do, which made a lot of sense at the time because it's pretty straightforward to manage. So the main idea of this is to you have a few states which I've set up in. How is it not? It's open. Apparently, Control KO doesn't like finding the classes. Right. So I created this enumeration for the different. I mean, it's different states, but for like the different behaviors that it can be performing at any given time. And they're all kind of, is it mutually exclusive or exclusive? I think it's exclusive, where you can only be in one state at a time. That's the intention anyway. And then I can put in some code that actually checks that kind of side of it, and guarantees that we don't ever run into a case where we're like stuck between two states or something. That would be quite straightforward to implement. Anyway, so it's just a few basic ones, which is searching for the objective, and the objective will vary based on the game mode. Then we've got moving to the objective, attacking target, which will only be the case if the objective is a viable enemy. Otherwise it could be like a flag or a position that you need to stay in and hold. Then there's capturing objective, there's evading damage, and returning to base. Now arguably this state here could be done at the same time as any of these, and I will need to think about that in the future. But for now I'll leave it because I'm not even using it at the moment, but I will definitely need to work on that. So every tick, it will figure out what it needs to do. So the default is searching for an objective, so it spawns in and it has to try and figure out where it needs to go. Now, for now, because we haven't implemented the concept of an actual physical objective, all we're doing is finding, we're just finding the and potential enemies, basically. We're iterating over the actors, and then we're checking whether or not they're basically another instance of a drone RPG character. But this can be done in a separate, should be done in a separate method for sure. And then this is going to be find target. God's sake, I hate it when it does that. Why would you try and auto-complete something outside the context of a method? Right. So all this method's purpose is finding a viable target. So if I put this back, oh, how do I undo this again? Oh, right, it's because I selected more than it. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put this one at the top. And then we're just going to do this. Boom. Alright, let's just see if that compiles, because it should be fine. Find target. Oh, right, yeah. I haven't created the declaration. There we go. Right, round 2. Come on. Excellent. So we've spit out the find target method because that will only happen in team deathmatch. Because in the other ones they'll head towards the objective and fight whilst moving, or if they get shot or something like that. But we have to implement that logic later on when they do have an objective to go for. And I do have to make sure that the default oh, hang on. The current game mode is where have I put it? Oh no, it is a, hang on, I'm being stupid. Current game mode is a property. Yeah, okay, there we go. Right, so I just need to set it to team deathmatch by default. There we go. Excellent. So what it will do is it will, for the first tick, it will calculate what objective it needs to go to. In our case, at the moment, it will find a target which iterates over all the actors in the world and checks whether or not they're a drone character. I will change that to use the filtered version where you just say get me all of this class. But I'll do that later because for now it works for everything. And then once we've done that, it will set its state to, in here, moving to objective, which it will do regardless of what game mode it's in, because it's likely it's back at the spawn point and it's not close enough. And if it is close enough, the move to it will just immediately move on to the next state. So in the move to target method, if we're at our target, we essentially need to go into the next state. So this needs to change because it shouldn't realistically be done in the move to target method, but it will be like I don't know, it will probably just go back into calculate, like another one which is like calculate next state or something, which will manage that. But generally speaking, it's if not already moving to the target, move to the actor and then set that we're already moving to it, so it doesn't keep repeating the move to actor method, because that will probably cause some problems later, I'm sure. But if we are there, we check whether it's a type of our target is a character. Otherwise, we go into capturing the objective state. So we're either doing attacking target or capture objective. So then on the next tick, we'll either be in this state or oh, come on, capturing objective, at which point we would do another methods, which hopefully Visual Assist can... Nope, okay. Oh, wait, that's interesting. Had the option to... Hey, look at that. Excellent. Let me do that on this as well, because that's very useful. Cool. It added all of the missing ones. So I'm just going to steal this, because I'm lazy. No, I'm efficient. Laziness is not achieving things. I'm just being very efficient, right? And then if we're in the capturing objective mode, we come in here and then we figure out what happens. And in here we would do nothing unless we get shot, basically. And if we get attacked, we would probably we'd get like a... How would you figure this one out? So realistically we want to not move out of the objective. We want to stay within its bounds whilst retaliating against anything that comes towards us. So as an example, we do if so attack target, I'm just thinking, I'm wondering if we need to have objective and target as two separate things, and we probably do. Okay, so let's say for the sake of argument, we've been shot. So we would want to have a method, something of the something like drone attacks, and it will be one of these. Attacker target equals okay, let's put a if okay, so we want to find our attacker but then we're in the capturing the objective state. So we're still in that state, or we could still be in that state. So we want to do something in here, which is if target not equal to null, then we want to do the same premise as the attack target. So I'm actually going to change how this works. Because this can be two different things. So instead of this, it's going to be actor location. I think that's the only thing we need to do, isn't it? Yeah. And this is state driving stuff, which we don't want to have in here. So if I go to change this to be attacking target, I come into here. Sorry for the mess. This will take me a second to sort out. I'm just making it so that that method is reusable. Because currently so if we want, what we want is if we want this. So we need to check if it's a drone character or not. And if it is, then we want to attack target objective, because in this case it is that. Oh, this actually just needs to be an actor because it's just the location. Because we're shooting a projectile at it, and the projectile does the calculations, figures out whether it can take damage and stuff. So otherwise do this. Okay, so when we attack, if our objective is that, we do that. Otherwise, we go in any other case, we go searching for an objective. But if it's being destroyed, we search for another objective. If it's not being destroyed, why are we doing this? I'm unclear on this. Let's figure this out real quick. When we attack the target, all we do is do a line trace. Check whether it's that. If it is, we shoot them. Okay, I see. So we kind of want a way of, because the problem we'll have is if we can't see the target, we need to be able to move to them, which is separate from everything else. Okay, so here we go. So otherwise, So we're still attacking the target, but in this case we want to move to the target. So it's literally just this. Okay. Sorry for the mess that is this. It can be a little awkward sometimes to put this together. But to keep it simple, so when we're attacking a target, our objective is to kill things generally. Otherwise, in this case, because it's like a team deathmatchy kind of thing, and we're at that point, our only purpose is to try and kill things. And then whilst we're in this state, if the objective is, which it should always be, we shouldn't ever be in this state when that's not the case. Actually, I'm going to get rid of this, because we wouldn't have come into that state if it wasn't. The only way we come into attacking target is if we're in team deathmatch mode, and the find target already does that check for us up here, and we wouldn't be targeting it if it wasn't one of those. And then this is going to be so we now need to know whether or not when we try and attack the target, if it's in range or not. Do we? No, we don't. Sorry. I'm being stupid. There we go. Right. Okay. Current state, searching for objective. Target objective. Right. Much better. Here we go. So if the act is being destroyed, or is null or something, then we go back to searching for objective, and our target objective is null. Otherwise, we've got a viable target, so we fight it. And when we come into here, if we can see it, we shoot it. If we can't, we move to it. Simple as that. Now I can write the code in here, which is basically going to be if we want dist. So now we want to check whether our distance between us and the objective what's it called? Target objective. So we want to check if our distance between, oh wait, it's an objective location. Aha, see, useful. We want to see whether we're going too far away from the objective. So we don't want to try and attack the target if we get too far. So greater than or equal to 800. I'm just going to guess. I don't know what these values actually look like. And then we literally move to target objective. Else, so we want to now check if targets is null, not null, then we've been attacked. Because the only case that target would be true. Oh, that's someone at the door. I think my flatmate's on it. Yeah, okay. let's see. So the only case we'd ever have a target is if drone attacked is true. And then we know that the oh, I've gone way too far. There we go. And now we need to know whether it's like an active target, basically. So we want this. There we go. So now we're checking whether if there is a target and it's not being destroyed, then we're still viably sort of got a viable target to try and kill. So then all we do is attack target. Then we pass in target. Now, this will basically mean whilst we're capturing the objective, if we ever get too far away, we move back to the objective. As soon as we get close enough, we start shooting at the anything that tries to kill us. I will have to. Will I have to do that? Nah, it shouldn't matter. Yeah, in this case, we're going to set target to null. Oh, why do I keep doing equals? So now, if we get too far away, we set the target to null. We basically disengage and go back. This will stop this from looping and stop the drone from constantly tracing down the target, shooting, going back, rinse and repeat. But we do want it to hover around the objective and kind of let me think. Yeah, we want it to hang around the objective and shoot at things, basically. And this currently only works if it becomes attacked. So what we could do is another check. Let's think, what's the most efficient way of doing this? We basically want to do a quick scan of all the of all the actors and check distances to make sure that they're to check whether or not they're like a viable target for us. I'm still not sure. I have an idea. I'm gonna make this a boolean. I'm still having trouble finding this for some reason. Attack target. Turn false in all given cases, but so this is going to be we haven't attacked a target, and this is going to be we have attacked the target. So what we can do, because I don't like how this works actually. I'm just trying to figure out, because this will allow us to be able to determine whether or not we need to move. So we know if we've been attacked, and we know if there's a if it's a viable target still. And I could do something like attack target. So if we haven't done that, we can do stop movement, I think. but I think this is the right way to do it. Because I don't believe stop movement worked last time I tried it. So okay, so what we're doing here is we're making sure that we don't move. However, I could also do a nice bonus in here, which is move if so can't see. I love how I've done that, right? Okay. So what this is going to allow us to do is put a boolean in that when we do attack target, which is just going to copy this means that we can determine whether or not we want the AI to move by default if it doesn't have line of sight, or basically blah blah blah. And now I don't need to do this, and instead that makes it a bit easier to work with. And now I can control that. So now we're saying we don't want to move if we can't see it. So now we're almost always, whilst capturing the objective, because we may still move out for other reasons, but if we're ever attacked, we will retaliate, but we'll never move away from the target. At least for now, anyway. Right. I now need to actually make sure these methods are implemented. Declarated, sorry. But I believe those were the only ones we needed to consider. Yeah, sorry if that was a lot to take in, but it's pretty straightforward. Intriguing. Have I missed something here? Let me just see, because there's defaults somewhere else, is there not? Or have I not done that yet? Maybe that's not what's actually wrong. Let's have a look. Yeah, blah blah blah, missing blah before blah. Okay. That all looks good. That looks fine. Just going to be more explicit on this, just in case. And so this is finding that, that's finding that, that's there, that's there. I'm just going through making sure all the parentheses are correct, which they seem to be. Oh, nothing's jumping out. Right, which one's actually wrong? Target objective. Is it perhaps because you can't find that? Yeah, I reckon it's because of this. Give me a sec. Forward declaration. Oh. And then wait, we should already have that, shouldn't we? Yeah, we do. Okay, let's see if that fixed it. Huh, no, interesting. Target under identifier drone. Ah, yeah, hang on. This is the method we haven't implemented yet. Oh, whoops. I guess that's fair enough, but let me copy that out. I need 2 of those. I assumed I put the properties in there. Okay, that should fix those too. If you do so much in a short space of time without building, it can get a little hectic when you recompile and there's like 200 errors. Right, what have we forgotten? Ah, yeah. Is that right? There's one there, there's one there. Not there, capturing objective. Oh god, I hate this sometimes. Okay, that's implemented, that's fine, that's fine. Now save. I'm just gonna rebuild. There it is. Excellent. Right, just a little tidying up. There's one here as well. It's always the little odds and ends that you can forget so easily. There we go. Okay, so hopefully I haven't broken this. So let's find out whether the AI still functions. Okay, still chases us, still shoots at us. You'll never take me alive. Excellent. Right, so the AI is still functioning. So let's see. Need to get rid of this. Okay, so we have another not quite an issue, but just something else I hadn't considered. So the rotate to face always rotates towards the objective location, which is fine. But we actually need to figure out. So if, say, the AI is defending an objective, obviously it doesn't want to face the objective because the guns are shot from based on the rotation of the AI. So we do actually need to start rotating towards the target. So for instance, if target ever becomes, oh, hang on, this is a bit awkward. All right, let's do this. So if current state attacking target then, so we want a actor, oh wait, a vector, oops, target location. So if we're attacking target, that means that our target is the objective location. So we do target location equals this. If we're in anything else, if then it will likely be the target. So if the target's not equal to null, then it will be and we need to actually I'll just do a quick I need a standard method of checking whether the target is valid, because we're doing this a lot. So because that's very common bit of functionality. This here exactly. So I just made a quick method for checking whether the target's valid, so we didn't have to keep repeating ourselves. And I can do this elsewhere. Okay, that's it. Excellent. So now we can go into wherever it was. No, we're down here, aren't we? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, hang on. What was I working on? Target states up here. And we could do that. There we go. So this is where we're rotating to face something. So if this is the case, then the location is going to be the objective. Actually, is it always going to... okay. Otherwise, how do we get the movement direction? I wonder if it's get character active forward vector. No, that's not going to work. We don't really want the look at rotation. We want... Let's figure this out, because I want it to head the direction it's moving if it's not trying to shoot at something, basically. So... and then the rotation, look at else. So we want to do this. We shouldn't be, oh yeah, okay, this can be no, if that. So if the target location, what? Insert, go away. Not is nearly 0. Then we've got an active target to look at. Otherwise, it's going to be get character get forward vector dot is it that? There's a way to convert it to a rotator. Is this right? I guess it's just this, isn't it? I don't know if I need that. I do also actually need to do this though, which will be because we don't want to change the pixel roll at the moment because they're kind of like flat on the ground. Blah blah blah. Oh, wrong order. Okay, let's see if this works. Hopefully it does. Oh, I've been going anyway. Only an hour and a quarter. Nice. Come on, work. Oh, okay. Where we come from here then? Wait, did I not do a check prior to this? I'm assuming it's no. Okay, so it's doing that. Find look at rotation. So objective location. Oh, I haven't changed. No. Stop. No, stop. Come on. Oh, for God's sake. Come on. Right. I haven't changed this properly. That's my bad. A and B. I know I've forgotten something. Because that all looks right to me. Because this would only be nearly 0 if it had set it. And if it had set it, then one of those would be okay. Oh, no, okay. Fair enough. Okay, so the location is that. I'm being an idiot. There we go. That's why it needs that. That should be it anyway. Pew, 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 pew. Excellent. Oh, he got me. Okay, yeah, seems to be working fine. Alright, I'm just wondering whether I continue, because I need to, I just need to add in this concept of an objective actor. Let's do that now, actually, because it doesn't even need to do anything. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to create the concept of an objective, which is going to be an actor for now. I might make it like a volume or something later, but this will do. And this is going to be an objective. Create the class, we stop the code. Okay, so now we got this concept of an objective. So if I close some other things in here, this shouldn't be too hard to manage. Oh, good, stop it. Right, it doesn't even need to do anything. It can just be dragged into the map. So let's say now we're on a domination game mode. Move this up here. So now we want to do a find objective methods, and then as always we steal some top line code there, and this is going to be find objective, and we implement, create the declaration. We are good to go. Right, so in this we're going to do the same premise as find target. I will steal this code and I will make it more efficient later. For now it will do. I've left this in because I need to figure out how to randomly shuffle the array, because otherwise every single drone AI is going to head towards the same target. But now we can do a objective. We can import this. And then I can actually do something. Oh, grief. Is a, and then we have objects and then class. Now I can go down. Do we have one already? No, we don't. I usually do this. I can still come up here, and it does object is a class. Just gonna call it a class, because class is a reserved word. In fact, I'm gonna call it a object as well, because you know, I don't want to confuse it too much. And then we can do m is a, because they all work in exactly the same way. And as always, it shortens the crap out of the code. And now we can do the same premise up here. Excellent. So the act is not equal to ourselves, and it's an objective. Then we go set that, and then when we're done that, where's this is calculate objective, find target. Find objective then goes to sorry, I gotta close a lot of this stuff. There we go. So searching, so we go calculate, and then we want to head to moving to objective. So this is find objective, current state moving to objective, which we do by default. And hopefully, yep, so this will do all the same kind of stuff. Otherwise it's capturing. It should actually just work. As in, if I start now and drag an objective in, it should head straight towards it. So let's find out. Because that's all we were missing. We're just missing an object that you place into the world. That's interesting. Why is it having... Oh, I see. I changed the name there and there. There we go. Perfect. So, go into blueprints, and I create a blueprint class. Oh, I need to change something else actually. But that would do. Move that into here. Let me just change something else because we need to do domination. This will also be the case in these as well. Anyway, if I didn't change that, it would never go into the right state. Eventually, this will be set by the actual Unreal Engine's game mode system and stuff, and we can detect what it is when we start. So in theory, it should just... It's stationary, which isn't a good sign. Let's see what it's doing. So we're on tick, and it should be... I'm assuming it's in here, yeah. Okay, so it's done that. Let's see if it ever does the move to objective, or have we... hang on. Oh no, it does it here, so it should have performed the move to target. Let's try this. Okay, so it never comes into here. Why does it never... Oh, hang on. I never put in a distance in here, that's why. this can be, oh, that's the target objective. Wait. 1 second. Okay, that's the problem. This should be renamed to move to objective. It still should function though, so this should be objective location, and this should be actor location. But then this should be less than or equal to 800. I think this is what it's doing. It's going straight into this capturing objective state because the distance wasn't set to anything. Hopefully that should be it. And then all I need to do is a couple of VAP properties inside the objective code that on tick check whether or not there are enemies and allies and all that sort of stuff inside it. Oh, off it goes. The rotation to face is a bit weird. I'll look into that one. So now let's test the combat inside the range of the objective. So the only thing I should in theory need to do here, because is to make the projectile, make the target. Sorry, my mouse goes so fast. Hang on, let me. There we go. A bit more controllable, right? Blah 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 blah. Receive hit. In here, we also need to do something like get controller, and we want to do a row. Why did it? Okay, I'm being an idiot. Why the hell did the mouse cursor? What? Oh, for God's sake, don't crash on me. You stop. Good grief. Okay, right. Sorry. There we go. So we need to cast the controller to an AI controller. Oh, you don't know. Con dot. What was it? What was the method called? Drone attacked. Commandeer this. Wait, no, it's alright, it's projectile dot get, and have I set this up properly? On hit, cast, target, receive, hit. Does this get have a shooter? There we go. So we basically, when the projectile hits something, we want to do tell the so this is in the take damage method, basically, my own one. Then we get our controller. If it's an AI controller, we tell it the drone's been attacked, and then we get the person who shot you, which is the projectile's owner, basically. And that's all we need to do. So now I should be able to test the combat in theory. I'll have to fix the rotation stuff later, I guess. Oh, what's happening here? Oh, I need to add an include to that. This will be a bit more sensible later, because I shouldn't be doing stuff like this in here as such. I will make an event-driven thing for this. Oh, what? Cannot convert. Ah, okay. Does it necessarily need to be that? I suppose it doesn't. Because it's not doing anything specific, and the target is an A actor, isn't it? Somewhere. Oh no. Shouldn't need to be though. Okay, let's see what happens. Because it may end up being like a turret rather than a drone, and the turret's going to behave differently to everything else. But I will eventually make a subclass from my for my character, and it will literally just be like base character or something that has all the health and all the raw stats and base functionality. Okay. So I've shot it. Let's see what works here. Target is null, so it's not setting the target. So okay, let's try this and see if that worked. Okay, so it worked. Oh, yeah, okay. Let me guess. Okay, interesting. Target's being set to null somewhere else. This is the only place, and it didn't come in here afterwards. So let's put a point on there and see what happens. That's very interesting. So it's performing this. Is this not working? It's not doing either of those things. Because target's still null, isn't it? Okay. What? How is that possible? Hmm? So the target's now, it goes into, oh, huh? Oh, I'm being an idiot. Hang on. Wait, no, this is, if it's not equal to null, i.e. we haven't set it, or it's set and it's not already equal to the current character. Huh. I'm just going to get rid of this logic here just to make sure that it's not me messing that side of it up. It doesn't look like it. So all we're trying to do is just check that we're not attacking the same target. Yeah, there's no point setting the target if we've got one to another one, because if this wasn't here and there are 4 different people shooting at you, the drone would just constantly be shooting different targets. Oh, okay, now it's working. Okay. Excellent. So it's not chasing us, it's holding the objective, but it shoots us every time we come into range. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so what's something to do with that? Let's just figure this out, because that should be very, very basic. I've probably gone past it. There we go. Okay. Pardon me. So if target not equal to null, and target should be equal to null before it comes into here. Ah, I know. I need an or, because it can just straight up no. Duh. Easily done, right. So if the target's null or it's not null and it's not equal to our current attacker. Logic. It's good fun though. I love that it just practically just works. And it's just gonna I love this. Okay, so we want, if it loses sight of the target, we want to set the target to null. So this way, it won't like fixate on us as we fly around the map. It will kind of like default back to looking at the target or something. I think. So it's not fighting us at the moment because we haven't made it check for targets that contest the objective. If I shoot it, it will shoot me. And if I... Intriguing. It should... Wait. So if we've got a valid target... Oh, I'm... Again, wrong. Right. Sorry. So... yeah, hang on. Because it will always be valid once it's valid the first time. There we go. So this is if we fail to attack the target, disassociate with the target. And then the last part of this is where it will scan for viable targets every tick, which is a little excessive, I think. Oh, it just worked. And he stopped, and he won't carry on shooting at me. Oh, it's so instant as well, I love it. Like, get off my land. Terrific. And then, yeah, all we do is we commandeer the find a target code somewhere up here. Let's find objective, find target. Let's think. I need to make this reusable as well. So let's find where this is used. Yeah, so it's used in there. And it's under specifically that game mode, which is calculate objective. So we don't really want to mess with that as such. So what we do instead is we rename, we stop this for a start because it gets a bit funny. And then we rename this to find objective target. Find enemy target, yeah. No, actually we leave that and then we make another method which is called find enemy target. Because find target's more generic, but it does the trick. So we shove this in here, but good grief, stop it. I haven't created that method, have I? Nope, cool. So this is going to return a During RPG character, and it's just going to do turn actor and then turn null. And then all we do is we go find targets and we do current okay, whatever. What the hell is going on? Stop it. Alright. Jeez. Sorry, alright. Okay, and now we need to add some things in here. Distance. Let's think. I think that's the only modifier we need. And then we can do sorry, right. Distance between linked location and then actor. So that's our actor location, which actually should really be called drone location to be more specific. Wait, did that work? So it gets a little confusing. Drone location, drone rotation. Perfect. Let me come back to up here, blah blah blah. Okay, so this is where if the distance is not 0, if either the distance is 0 or it's not, and then it's this. It's this one. The next one. Less than or equal to distance. There we go. And then in here, we make the distance, take this. Where's the methods? Find target enemy distance, and then we make it default to 0. Perfect. And now we can do find enemy targets inside here, not here, here, yeah. And then we find anything within 800 if oh, it won't be equal to a null pointer, then it will actually just, oh no, it could be. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're finding an enemy within 800. If we find something, we try and attack it. I haven't also implemented the concept of friend in throw yet, but that's just an extra property on the characters that they'll need to figure out. But it's not really very important at the moment. Yeah. I would do the casting and stuff in there, but I don't think it's as valuable. There's no need to, I mean, it's only a pointer, I suppose, but there's no need to do casting when it's not necessary. Oh, close. No, stop. Oh, and we use the macro version of Null because the Armor engine does some fancy things with it. Oh, it's target objective, sorry. There is a possibility this will be null at some point, but we'll see what happens when we get there, I suppose. It should loop infinitely. So it stops, it shoots us. Right, and now we get too close, does it? Okay, let's see what's happening. Blah, 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 lots of stuff. Here. It's not doing any of that. Oh, okay, do we need that null check? I don't think we do. And that's what's screwing us over at the moment. Because we're not really doing that at the moment, so there we go. Less code is better. Okay. Oh, look at that. Immediately turned and shot at us. And it's forgotten, and we get too close, and it shoots at us. And then it stops. And then we get out of range, and it stops. You've invaded my territory. Oh no. We're just passing. Oh my god, I'm so glad I slowed the rotation of the AI so they wouldn't basically aimbot you because it was a little obnoxious. So you can at a certain distance sidestep their shots. That was getting very problematic. Oh yeah, the projectiles are literally just a cube. Still a cube that I made, but they don't last long enough for you to see them really. I might make them not cast shadows though. So, I mean, it's a little excessive. I know arguably they should just be particle effects in the end. But I think that's good enough for now. I will come back later, another day or later this evening, and work on it more because it's a lot of fun. So yeah, I hope that wasn't too hard to follow for some people. I don't know. I will upload this code again onto GitHub so people can have a look if it's a tool of interest. But yeah, there's just a lot of decision making, and I did iron out in Word the basics of how it should happen. I need to take into consideration the claiming of objectives and stuff later. But we've got the attack enemies that stay in range, we've got the move to an objective, we've done the standard combat for it. It seems to be doing the trick, so That's all that matters, really. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep making this game progressively better. But it's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun to do, and I hope to make a big difference with it. So, compared to my other games, anyway, it's actually getting somewhere. I tried too hard to do all of my other stuff properly from the start. I just get carried away optimizing things, but this is just make it work and then sort shit out later, which seems to be doing the trick. So I'll get back to this another time. So thanks, not that anyone's particularly watching, which is whatever, doesn't matter. But now I have a 2-hour video of some game development. I will speak to you guys another time.